Grand Rising people. Welcome to Phantom Vitality, where we give you key tips and takes on health, wealth, and the world at large. This is your World at Large news report. Starting off with the Bitcoin price. Bitcoin is up 3% today at 48,348. Ethereum is up today 2.8% at $3,794. So the first news, a Bored Ape that was worth $1.9 million was stolen, and OpenSea decided the best thing for them to do was to freeze it. So this is a very optimistic report that shows that even in the event that someone loses their NFTs in a phishing attack, OpenSea can stop that from happening. OpenSea can step in and stop that from happening, which is pretty good. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the story. We have someone named Todd Kramer who runs Ross and Kramer Art Gallery in New York. He said that he clicked a link that appeared to be a genuine NFT dApp, which is another reminder, like, you have to be thorough with your research. If you see anything that has a certain name, you have to look it up before you click on anything. And it's probably smart that you separate your wallets in terms of what kind of computer or phone or whatever you're using them on. There's a lot of people who they'll turn their old cell phones into crypto wallets, which makes a lot of sense. So make sure that I have it in my book, The Bitcoin Kit, that hot wallets are some of the most dangerous, or not even some of, but hot wallets are the dangerous ways to hold your crypto. It's dangerous because things like this could happen. You can click a link and then it's a phishing link, and then you wind up losing your crypto because of it. And apparently he had 16 NFTs and all of them were gone, all of them were missing. So it's safe to say that he lost way more than $1.9 million when this all happened. And of course, it naturally is unfortunate, but this is what's going to happen in crypto. And we're early. We're still very early in the market. We're still very early in this whole entire, this innovation. So we don't have the protection capabilities right now for people to say, okay, you can go in and you can, be la-di-da about things and click random links and then be protected from your NFTs being, fished out. And I have to look into how people are fishing out people's NFTs, because it's very interesting. You're supposed to have a public key and a private key. So I don't understand how they're getting these people's private keys like this from just clicking a link. And usually when people say that they've been hacked or they've been scammed, they never want to tell you the wrong things that they did. So I don't know if they, I just don't know if they, gave them their private keys. I don't know what they did, because pretty much what it said was, he said he clicked a link that appears to be a genuine NFT dApp. So he just says that he clicked the link, but we don't know what else he did after that. So anyway, that's a very well, it's a bittersweet moment, because on one end of it, it sucks that he had his NFTs stolen worth millions of dollars, and on the other end of it, it's good that OpenSea was able to just freeze it and stop it, so whoever stole them can't just go and sell them again and then make that money and then just be done with it. So that helping him. That's good. And I mean, for something that's $1.9 million, you would expect that. And at least he is saying right now that he's going to be using the hardware wallet. So, hey, that's good. It's not a problem. Of course, it's never a problem. But this is what's going to happen with the crypto market as more and more people get into this. There's going to be way more black hat hackers, way more attempts to take people's money. Cybercrime is going to really jump. And this is just my personal, you know, estimate, but with them trying to like keep people locked down and inequality, the combination of those two things happening, we're going to see a rise in cybercrime. I mean, people are going to learn how to, more and more people are going to learn how to code. I mean, I'm learning right now. And that doesn't mean that everybody who's learning how to code is going to, do the right thing in terms of, you know, staying within the ethos. So you're gonna have people, and the funny part about it is, we, in a way, we need certain situations like this to happen in order for us to figure out ways to stop it from happening in the future. So there's that. We have another story about Kazakhstan. So apparently, Kazakhstan is looking to use nuclear energy for their electricity problem that they're having. They're having electricity shortages, and they are blaming these shortages on crypto miners. And crypto mining is right now, they've been saying like mining even Bitcoin by itself is enough to power a whole entire country. And we've mentioned this in previous videos about just how much work it actually takes for a cryptocurrency to be mined when it's at a point where its difficulty is like, when it's well into its difficulty increasing. So this is pretty interesting. I had a feeling that they would start using like nuclear energy eventually, because nuclear energy has I don't know like much about nuclear energy, but I do know that it could be used for, for electricity. It can be used to power, nations. It can be utilized in ways that can benefit people more than, just nukes, like more than just like bombs and stuff like that. Apparently, this is a plan that they've had for a decade. So they want to make a power plant that's going to do that. So they want to make a power plant that's going to aid in making sure that this works. The thing about it is that they can work on this and they're going to build it. But what happens if by the time they build that, somebody's already made like a more eco friendly solution? That's what I'm looking at. Like, somebody can go in and just make a more eco friendly solution. So that's one of my concerns with this story. And it says that Kazakhstan is a global leader in uranium ore mining and has contemplated building a nuclear plant for over a decade. Another 10 years will be needed to construct it. So, so this is what I'm talking about. Like 10 years, it's going to take them 10 years to build a nuclear plant to deal with a problem that's happening now. Yet at the same time, if they use renewable energy, it's going to take them way less than that, maybe like less than half the time. So that's going to be pretty interesting to note. And so last summer, they're saying that they've experienced electricity shortages. Oh, because of the Chinese miners that I mentioned in the last video. So the Chinese miners, like after the ban, they went to Kazakhstan, and this is probably one of the reasons why they got banned to begin with, because they were draining a lot of energy. And China is a country that they already have so many people, so they can't have like all of these people. They can't have billions of people using electricity, and then they have miners using more electricity, and then more miners using more electricity. This also points out why proof of stake is becoming more of a popular method for blockchains, because these are the problems that come with proof of work. Even though it's like, I guess I can call it a double-edged sword, because the proof of work is like literally like, electricity. So it's like it's a hard, not, I can't call it a hard asset, but it's something that is validating it on another level. And on the other side, there's proof of stake, where the certain nodes that hold a certain amount of coin are validating the network within itself. So it's like people are coming together with proof of stake, and they're, saying, okay, I'm gonna hold 1,000 or 10,000 or 32 of these like coins or tokens, and all of us collectively doing that is holding the network up. So it's a very interesting thing to look at. And as more and more crypto projects become proof of stake, I don't think that this is going to be an issue for long, because it's probably going to leave one cryptocurrency left to be mined via proof of stake, and that's going to be Bitcoin, because Ethereum is already moving over to proof of stake. And I don't know any other major project that's using proof of work. There are a couple. There's like, I think Monero. Um, but besides that, I don't see the reason why you would even want to use a newer project that's proof of work, especially when you look at situations like this. And like, these are the reasons why people like Alexandra Ocasio Cortez and like Elizabeth Warren, when they talk about like the environmental impact of cryptocurrencies, it just gives them more ammo to use. And we want to take away as much ammo away from them as possible. Like, it doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat. We just, like, if they're talking, they're misinforming people about this stuff, and they're using scare tactics and fear mongering to go in and say, oh, look how bad it is for the environment, because they know that their base is so like gullibly for those things. Like, they'll be for climate change, but they won't really know about climate change. They'll be for LGBT rights, but they won't really know about LGBT rights. Like, it's just on the surface. Like, yeah, we approve it because we approve it because we're trying to be good people. So that's something to very much note. The next story we have. The next story we have is Shanghai including Metaverse in their development plan. And we spoke about Metaverse in a previous video as well, about how they're making a Metaverse ETF, and how it was already showing some success early on. So we're looking at it, and it says that Shanghai's 5-year plan calls for the use of a metaverse in public services, businesses, entertainment, and industrial manufacturing. So the Shanghai Municipal Commission of Economy and Information Technology's 5-year development plan for the electronic information industry listed 4 frontiers for exploration, and one of them is the metaverse. So the commission plans to encourage further studies and development of underlying technologies such as sensors, real time interactions, and blockchain technology. China's interest in new technology has been unwavering in recent years, and its effort to establish a central bank digital currency and its use of digital biometric hardware wallets for the virtual yuan have cemented it as a leader in the issuance of a CBDC. Yeah, in terms of the way things are moving, China is moving way quicker when it comes to technology than the US. And naturally, when you have, an autocratic, regime, I don't know what else to call them, like they're a communist party, but they've been the same way for like how long? I don't think, and I don't know, I can't act like I know about China's political processes like, a lot of people do. But they have one form of government, and they don't swing from one side to the other, and they don't create laws to block things from the other. You see, that's one of the biggest issues with the United States of America. The United States of America is a country in which people are incentivized to block its progression. It's in so many different ways. So you'll have the Democrats wanting to do something that's beneficial for the people, and the Republicans will block it. And then you have the Republicans that want to do something that's beneficial for the economy, and the Democrats will block it, and vice versa, and back and forth and back and forth. You can't have a nation of people who are literally at war with each other. Even like America is in a cold war. America is in a cold war with itself. It's not even in a cold war with China. Like, this is the thing that's ridiculous right now about all this like US versus China stuff. You can't have a country in which you rely on so heavily for your goods and then say that there's some kind of adversary, when at the same time you have people within your own government that are not only working with them but sometimes spying for them. And then at the same time you have this, schism that's continually forming within the, fabric of the United States of America, with one side being so incensed by Trump, and I'm talking about Democrats. Democrats were so incensed by Trump because they were pretty much like goaded into it. They were egged on by CNN and the newspapers and all these different things, who would rush to report every single thing that Trump would talk about that they deemed like vivacious and wild and just ridiculous, that people would just get so angry. Like, yeah, I would be in New York walking by like his tower, and there was literally a guy who would just stand out there like all day, just like trying to go like say all this crazy stuff about him, and just stand a third. And then I remember one time somebody who was like a Trump supporter got into this, like they got into an argument and they were going back and forth. And then I was like, hearing him out, and I wanted to hear who he thought would be a better president. And he had the worst answers. He was talking about Kamala Harris, like, yeah, she's about to probably become president after, Joe Biden kicks the bucket, but she's a horrible choice. Like, you already seen how people on her own staff quit. They already quit on her. And I know I'm going off on a tangent, but it just shows you the you can't make progress when you can't drive forward and then, switch gears into reverse and think you're gonna make any progress. And that's what's happening in the United States of America. Like, they're talking about, like, Shanghai Municipal Commission of Economy is talking about, we're gonna use metaverse in the next couple of years. We're gonna by the time they decide that, is ready to implement this, the United States of America is going to be talking about trying to implement it. And that's a really big issue. Like, if we're talking about competition here, it's like they can't really compare, because people in China are already using, like, they already use digital wallets. They're already going to be using CBDCs. They're already like, they're well into what the United States of America wants. They have their police state. They have cameras all over the place, biometric cameras that scan your whole ass face, that know exactly who you are from that scanning, from all of that. And that's exactly what they were planning to do. So, another story, we have Polygon. So, Polygon, they fixed some bugs, and One of the bugs that they fixed is $24 billion that they saved themselves from fixing this bug. So let's read it. It says, Layer 2 protocol Polygon announced this week the rectification of a potentially multi-billion-dollar vulnerability in its proof-of-stake Genesis contract through implementing an emergency Bohr upgrade to the mainnet. The incident and subsequent upgrade took place at the beginning of December. If compromised to the fullest extent by a malicious entity, the vulnerability could have resulted in almost $24 billion in financial losses, equating to 92.7% of the network's native Matic tokens and effectively causing imminent demise. So it sounds like they pretty much saved their ass. And I mean, they did exactly what they needed to do. So let's keep going. It says, according to a recent blog post from Polygon, two good-willed white hat hackers, Leon Spacewalker and White Hat 2, discovered the incident on December 3rd and December 4th, respectively, alerting blockchain security platform ImmuneFi. And this is another thing that I was saying about how there's going to be more black hat hackers as crypto expands. We need more white hat hackers. We need more people to balance the scales. It's like yin and yang. So we need people like this. We need more people like this to come in, and instead of exploiting the bugs, exploiting the vulnerabilities, they go in and they say, hey, this is what's going on. That's what's going on. And this is why crypto is about to create a huge, huge, huge economy within itself, because there's going to be so many different things that need to get done. And the name of the game is really going to be like all the jobs that people do are a good amount of jobs that people do are going to be crypto jobs in the future. And these are going to be some of the things that people are going to do. We already have, like, every single time a cryptocurrency comes out, they have like a bounty that they do. And they have people go in and they have people look in to see what bugs are present within that code. When they see whatever bugs are present within that code, then they get a certain amount of money every single time, which is perfect. And this wasn't like Polygon was never hacked before. They were. So it says, following procedural investigation and authentication from ImmuneFi, the information was passed to Polygon, which upgraded the network on December 5th, albeit a hacker was able to drain 801,601 Matic before the bug was resolved. So it says Leon Spacewalker is set to be rewarded a cool $2.2 million in stable coins for the efforts, while the second anonymous hacker, White Hat 2, will pocket 1.27 in Matic tokens directly from Polygon. So you see the benefits in being a white hat hacker. You see the one guy who was the black hat hacker who robbed the guy of all of his Bored Apes and all of his other NFTs. Those are going to be frozen. He can't move those. But because of this white hat hackers helping out Matic from saving them $24 billion, they both collected millions of dollars. So that's amazing. That's excellent news. And I'm going to finish it off with that. 100%. I'm going to finish it off with that. So I hope you learned more today. 100%. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And have a good day.